Alright, we're going to jump straight into this one again because I don't know how in the world I'm going to get all this into one video, so I guess I'm going to have to cut some corners on it. Okay, has anybody ever noticed how you can be like doing fine in a game, and after a while it's like, oh I got lag, or streaming, or doing both, being on Skype and playing a game, or on vent servers or whatever, and then you start getting that little tick lag and it seems like something, and oh, let me reload the game. You ever wonder what that was? Alright, for those of you out there that know what it is, this doesn't apply to you, okay? Because you're experts and you got it figured out, but you still can't get around it. Let me explain a little something that I found out today that is just totally, absolutely, and in all other ways amazing to me. No matter if you're on cable, satellite, DSL, or even up to T1 speed, especially in the area in which I'm in, and most of the United States, because this mainframe is located in Arizona, and everywhere, especially on cable, and this is all cable. I don't know where the mainframes those are, but this is mainly for the people that run cable internet. It's being monitored, and basically I was told last night and today I talked with an administrator with these guys that you are limited to 2 hours of your actual bandwidth per day. Alright, so your max bandwidth. Now, a lot of people say, well, yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. You know, you're telling me that I'm paying $100 a month for 2 hours a day in a 30-day period. I don't know what that equals up to. I didn't do the math, but still, 2 hours a day of bandwidth, and then you get throttled back to below minimum. And this is to protect people around you from not taking up their internet. Well, this may be true in a way. That right there is, I think, old technology, because getting into the discussion with the lady, you know, it was pretty much told to me that, you know, there's really nothing to be done about it. You're just going to have to deal with it. And we can monitor it for you if you do the speed test at our site. And I'm like, I've done the speed test. I know. What I want to know is why, instead of being throttled back half to 250, just for a round off, then I'm only getting 120 upload speed instead of the actual half running on one computer, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Well, we did a speed test and everything, and oh, lo and behold, I got 50 more meg upload speed than I normally get. Imagine that. But no, last night when we did the speed test, I was getting 120 upload. Now, the download part of it was fine. It was like 5,000. The power level was over 5,000. I mean, that right there has never been a problem with download, because I really don't download a whole lot. But my upload speed, and they say, well, it doesn't matter, it's traffic. Well, that's just crazy. And I don't understand why it is. I understand the concept behind it, but I don't understand why it is that I'm only getting 2 hours of service per day. That's basically what they're telling me. You know, it's like, you know, pay-per-view or something anymore with this. So all this time where I was blaming my computer, you know, I still need a new motherboard. If anybody's got a spare AM2 or socket AM2 motherboard laying around out there, let me know. But, you know, all this time I was blaming my hardware. My hard drive sucks. I can't get on the internet. My this and that and the other. I was blaming everything but the actual service providers. Because what it is let me explain how it works, what she told me. If you're on Skype, and I understand that you cut your megs in half. I understand this. The more computers you use, the more it's going to, you know, use as far as bandwidth. However, when you're using one computer, let's just say you have the one, and you have Skype running, okay? Then you have, let's say you do a live stream, okay? And then on top of that, you are playing a game, okay? So those three things, just hypothetically now, you are using your max bandwidth, okay? I don't care if you're using 8 megs. You're going to use max bandwidth doing those three games, especially with some of the high-performance games we got these days. All right, from what I was told, and I talked with them last night and today, and they confirmed it, especially if you're, you know, in the United States, you get 2 hours of that max bandwidth, and then after that, if anybody ever notices, like on my streams, that's where the lag comes from. Because I always tell everybody, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's going to start lagging, so just get used to it. So, you know, that's what it's been this whole time. I'm being throttled back and pretty much put on an allowance of bandwidth, and I think that's just absolutely wrong, especially with the way things are today, where everybody out there knows as long as the financial crunch is happening on the world, more and more and more people are going to look to the internet for their entertainment, whether it be legit, not legit, gaming, movies, whatever. Okay, people are going to turn to the internet more so than they ever have before, especially since today, I think, the 29th, everything is going digital, airwaves, everything. All right, so those people that used to be on rabbit ears are going to just say, well, I'm going to spend X amount of dollars on this converter. Well, it is 2009. I think I'll just go ahead and upgrade and either get satellite cable, DSL, whatever your provider has. Well, with that being in the works and people know that this is going to happen, it's going to actually stimulate the economy as far as the technology is concerned. These guys haven't even kept up with the technology enough and the trend to be able to increase the max bandwidth over a 2-hour period of time. And I was like telling her, well, why don't y'all throttle it back 3/4? I was like, if you would at least give people, instead of 250 or 5, because you get a max of 500 upload, period, no matter what service you have. That was the thing that amazed me. I could have a T1 speed business service, and it would still get upload of 500 megs. So I'm going to be throttled back anyway after 2 hours. She said it doesn't matter. It's always 500 upload. She said the download is where you're going to cap yourself, have a higher cap over a longer period of time, which I think is just absolutely crazy to me. That's crazy. All right. So anyway, for the technology to be increasing and them being behind the times, I don't think they've come up with good enough contingency plans as far as where technology is going. That's my whole point. And so all this thing that we're trying to build up on the craftchest nation and coming up with new material, I'm not able to do it because by the time we actually get into doing something, that's when the lag hits in. And I always wondered why people like, Chris Perillo and the guy at the Tech Buzz and Leo Laporte and, numerous other people. I could just keep the list going on. Those are just some of the top names. But I was always wondering, why do they do their shows starting at 10 o'clock at night? Well, that's the reason why. After midnight, you have unlimited bandwidth usage from midnight to noon. And that's the reason why, for a while there, I was just setting my schedule to where I got up at noon and go do my business, and then, we just run all night. Or not noon, I wouldn't get up at noon, I'd go to bed at noon. I'd do all my business from 6 in the morning till noon, and after that I would go to sleep, get up at 6 and do it again. And we'd have that all-night thing going on whenever we were actually building up things on the streaming services and, playing games and getting into it. Everybody out there knows what I'm talking about. If you don't, you can come join us over at mogulus.com, and we got a little toy that we're working on the side of the website. So, yeah. But anyway, that's why those guys do it so late. Because after midnight, you have unlimited bandwidth usage from midnight to noon. Go figure. And all this time, I never knew. I was like, why does that dude sleep during the day? And he's doing all this stuff, and he always gets on around midnight his time, or about 10 o'clock, or 2 hours before midnight. I was like, that's just kind of crazy to me that they would actually be, night people like that. And I know a lot of people are, but for somebody that's actually in the internet business, I always wondered why. That's why. Because they're limited as well. And since it's unlimited after midnight and you can use up all the bandwidth you want, that's when the real techies come out. There you go. And the traffic isn't monitored as much. The traffic's actually monitored from noon to midnight. It's crazy. So all you people out there with the dark tips and the BitTorrents and all that, watch it, because they have this new algorithm program similar to YouTube with that music thing, copyright happening, to people that's actually doing BitTorrents. So y'all better watch out with that. And that might be why some of the people that I know have had the problems here in the recent past. They have put you on, grounded your ass. And no matter who you get, you're still going to have the same problem. Because they know who you are. They tag you as an individual, not just an IP address anymore. So keep that in mind. But anyway, I guess that's about it with this one, because I just thought it was absolutely crazy to me that, we're paying for 2 hours a day of service. I thought that was what parental controls were for. And even most parents that I know, or some of the people that I even hang out with that have parents, or that join us in the stream, they're able to be on for more than 2 hours. And I've noticed here in the recent past, the more people we get in, everybody's like, I'm lagging. And it's always after that 2-hour mark. That's why. We're being limited by the man. They have us by the Scarlax, people. We got protested. Everybody out there should go protest their internet service provider and tell them 2 hours is just wrong, man. That's not even right. All right? So anyway, remember everybody out there, it's a craft of being limited to 2 hours. Let's try to have some fun. Okay, by the way, before we get into this video, I keep getting this question for some reason. The door behind me, it's an optical illusion, apparently, because I don't tear shit up. What am I doing? There's nothing wrong with this door. It's just the angle. See? Closes fine. It's fine. Everything's good. It's all good. It's all a craft in your mind.